Why shouldn't you be afraid of the narc? Now, I know the narcissists, with all of their childish tantrums that they throw, the fact they're in a body of a grown man is very scary. Because not only are they a toddler with toddler tantrums and lack of maturity, but they are also in the strength and body of a grown man that can really harm you and cause damage. Now, this in itself is very scary, and they're banking on you to be afraid of them because they are petty tyrants and they want to cause you harm. But what you also have to understand, that you have a leg up on them, in that you are a grown woman, you are an adult who's actually traversed the stages of development, and you have developed through them and progressed into adulthood. You were not stunted or suffered from arrested development like they were. So that is the leg up. You are more in tune and more intelligent in the emotional sense from that perspective, where you can rationalize in ways that they cannot. So how can this help you in not being afraid of the narc and giving them the upper hand in the relationship? Because that's what they want. Those two things, those two prized things the narcissist wants, is to have complete power and domination over you and control. Okay, they're all the same thing in a way. They're all very, very closely linked. So power and control and domination can only come if you are subservient by means of fear. Now, there's many ways in which they can trigger your fear. Firstly, they have all the emotional ammunition in terms of the data that they've collected against you when you shared your vulnerabilities, your phobias, your family history, your family dysfunction, your family dynamics, which doesn't always, work out in your favor. Your colleague drama, people at work, what's going on there, people that they've met through you, such as friends. They know all the down and dirty, whatever you've shared with them about these people, and they will use this against you as blackmail and ways to trip you up when you try to stand up for yourself, because they will hit you with, psychobabble. They will be, for example, this is why you're behaving like this. It's your mother wound from your trauma with your mother growing up as a child. They will hit you with psychobabble so that you completely succumb and you fall to your knees in despair and shame that they could use and weaponize something so tragic and so vulnerable in your formative years against you. But they are so dirty, vindictive, and cunning that they will use absolutely anything, and they have no shame or remorse or guilt at all about the way they hurt you. Now, the reasons and ways that you should not be afraid of the narcissist is because you have to understand his psychology and his mentality. One of the ways is by reading a lot of books and literature on narcissism, and also watching all of my videos and videos of other creators out there on narcissists. They will tell you the mentality, and in a nutshell, these are little children. If you understand the psychology of little children and you know how little children operate, you will see your husband as, instead of this big mighty monster, you'll see him as the king of petty. A guy who's so dependent on you for his own self-regulation and self-validation that it's actually sad. You don't realize that you, as the narcissist's supply, have a lot of power. You are the drug dealer. His drug is your supply, your emotions. You are the dealer in this, because you can decide how you wish to mete out and how much you wish to mete out of your supply, i.e. your emotional reactions. Or withhold it all together and go grave rock, which is what I suggest. Please do watch my video on what is the grey rock method. Now, once you understand that he is very vulnerable, thin-skinned, completely and desperately insecure, very, very unconfident, very, very self-doubting, self-loathing, and self-deprecating, very fearful of judgment, hyper-vigilant and aware of other people's perceptions of them, and maintaining their false image so that the world sees them as anything but what they truly are inside. When you know the truth about what they truly are inside, a little cowering, cowardly golem, fearful of the world, really ready to attack, rageful and vengeful and wrathful in their nature, but yet at heart they are weak, insipid, decrepit individuals, depraved even, and perverted. And you know all of this about them. It makes it actually comical to be afraid of them. Now, I'm not in any way undermining or devaluing anyone going through a narcissist who is extremely physically violent or emotionally, spiritually violent, which they can be. But I'm trying to give you some background here on the ones who are not being abused physically, at least. Understand the psychology of the one who is emotionally abusing you and know him for who he really is. He's pathetic. He's absolutely pitiful. When you really get to know and understand him, you feel, if you have anything left in your heart to feel for them, at best you feel pity and sorrow for them, that they could have succumbed to such a fate. Just like the Gollum in Lord of the Rings. No matter how attractive they are to the world, you know the real them. And there's no way that you could ever fear them. Quite the contrary. You feel sorry for them, you feel pity. Part of you even may want to wrap your arms around them and comfort the little child in them. But that little child has no access to them or who they are, or any access to you either, because it's locked away in a very, very stunted glass room called the false self, where the false idea of themselves had been created many, many years ago as a response to the trauma that they've been inflicted with. So once you know the truth about the narcissist, I don't want you to have any fear of them. Of course, you can fear the violence and the outrage and the threat of harm that can come from them, but please do contact police, solicitors, law enforcement agencies, protection units, whatever you can. Do let people know who you love and trust, and who love and trust you. Know what's going on, so that if you need backup, if you need standby, if you need someone to intervene, they are there. But I don't ever want you to ever walk away from your narcissist or face him ever feeling fear in your heart against them. Perhaps, if anything, I hope this video lends you to feel a bit of compassion for them. No, not that you have to feel any kind of way to them. They don't deserve any part of you, to be quite honest. But at best, for your own sanity, see them for the pitiful creature that they are, but not fear. They don't even deserve that from you. Okay? Take care, all my love and strength from me to you. Assalamu alaikum and goodbye.